Hey, it's Tom from Inspiration Metalworks. Welcome back to the new and improved, or sort of improved, downsized shop. This is episode 19 or 20. I'd better check that out and get that in here before I get all this done. But I know it's been a little while since I've had a video up. I wanted to get something out today. It'll be a little while longer before I get another one out. But just a quick update on what's happening, a short project, and little news. So let's start with what's been happening. There's been a couple of things that have happened recently. As you can see, I have somehow managed to get 2,000 square feet worth of stuff in an oversized 2-car garage. The place that I used to get my space from, where I used to rent, the original owner did not renew the lease for the guy that I sublet the space from, and so we all had to get out. It was rather short notice. I didn't realize it was happening, and I was getting ready to go on vacation, so I basically had about 3 days to do that. I did do some arranging in here, put things in differently. I'm still in the process of that. I actually just got back from vacation yesterday. So, there's a lot to do. And of course, when you're not ready for it is when stuff falls in your lap. And so I had a really simple sign job fall in my lap today. I thought, okay, well let's put some of that out. We'll do that. The last thing, and this is where it's kind of a blessing to have everything here at the house again versus in a different place, is, as many of you know, I am a veteran. I served in the Army. I was in the 82nd Airborne for many years, and then in the National Guard and Reserves here in North Carolina after that. While I was on active duty, I did injure my back on 2 separate occasions. So I've been dealing with back issues, off and on for the last 27 years. Those are the kind of things that you kind of just get through, right? I'm an infantryman, right? I'm a paratrooper. We get the job done. That being said, I don't remember what it's like to wake up and not be in pain. And after a lot of soul searching and a couple of episodes where it was really, really bad, I decided to go see a specialist with the blessing of the VA. And so I'm actually going in for surgery this week. The surgery part was actually kind of rapid. Took forever to get paperwork done and about 3 days to get me seen. So once the paperwork was done, it was just amazingly fast. But it's back surgery, and I'm going to be off my feet for 4 to 6 weeks at a minimum, and then it could take 6-9 months, a year to really fully recover from this. So I'm a little nervous, but at the same time, like I said, I'm kind of thankful I'm here. If I work for a little while, if I need to go lay down, I go lay down. Right? It's not like I'm in a space where I'm worried about making enough to cover rent and all this other stuff. I got to just make sure I'm taking care of my family. So that's what's been going on. No more downers. I'm not going to play Debbie Downer. I'm happy. Things are good. I'm making progress. That's all I'm going to say about that. So we'll be moving things around in here a bit more. It's really rather cramped, but it'll work. It did give me an opportunity to come up with a couple other things here. I don't know if I can get this by the camera. Let me change angles, and I'll show you some things that are going on too. Okay, so I moved a couple things around so we can see a little better here. As you can see, I've got the mill, I've got the lathe here. I went back to back with them, so I'm using my space as efficiently as possible. I actually went all old school on this one. I did a scale model of the garage and all the equipment I have, and literally took little pieces of paper and moved them around until I found the optimum layout. That being said, I screwed up a couple of measurements and I need to move some things around. We did have the forklift to help get everything in here, and there's no video. I may have a couple pictures. If I can put them up, I'll put them up now. But I did have the forklift to help get things in, but nothing's in the right place. And on top of that, the stand for the mill was damaged in the move. You know, it's one of those things that happened. It's, you know, these things are, you know, just basically, you know, what, like 16 gauge, 18 gauge metal, you know, folded metal, and they're not that strong to begin with. So one of the projects we'll be doing as I recover from surgery is we'll be building a new stand for the mill. We'll also need to shift everything over a little bit. 1,800 pound lathe, not simple to move, right? So how do you do that? Well, especially with my limited space in here, I went ahead and invested in this. I can't even get it in the whole screen. This is called a Johnson bar, if I recall correctly. I've heard it called a Joe bar. I've heard it called lots of different things. It's basically a great big, I think it's a 72-inch tall crowbar. But the difference being, let's see if I can do this. Sorry guys, like I said, my back is pretty messed up right now. The difference is it's got, you know, it's a big lever with ball bearing wheels, right? So these are just, you know, heavy duty ball bearings in the bottom. This thing is actually rated, I want to say this thing is rated for, 5 tons. So it can move 5 tons. And so basically what we'll end up doing is get this underneath, lift one side, put a skate underneath it, slide it over, get the other side moved over, you know. So if I'm feeling up to it, I'll shoot video when I move the equipment around as well. But so hopefully I can show this. This was not bad. I got this one from Northern Tool. I did put a call out to see if anybody had them, and Jay Kilroy said he had a couple of them, but the shipping would be ridiculous. And you know, obviously he's right on that. But you know what? With shipping, this thing was about $120. So it was not terribly bad. I had a good coupon from Northern Tool, and so I got the thing in just a couple of days, and of course I got it and then went on vacation. So nothing's been moved around yet. But you'll get to see we'll move all this stuff around. Now coming from this angle, you can see I've got a bit to do here. I've got to get the table cleared off. It was a convenient, you know, as always, any flat space becomes a place to stack things when you're in a move. So this is just the opposite angle. We're kind of, you're coming from a 90-degree where we were just going. So I got to get the table cleared off, get this plugged back in. I need to get the line dryer, which I think you can see in the back. Yeah, you can see in the background. Get the refrigerated line dryer hooked up to the air compressor and get that plumbed in, because I actually have lines in here already, so I can drop it down and hook the plasma cutter up and go. I don't have time right now to shift everything around and move it where it's going to be. This is you know, quick and dirty, get the job done sort of thing. So I'm going to move things around, get this cleaned up, and I'll bring you back when I'm ready to start doing the drawing and the cutting. Alright, so we've got this project that came through the door today that actually shouldn't take too long, and I wanted to get knocked out quickly before I actually go in for surgery this week. So I just wanted to show how we did the drawing. What's nice about this is they actually sent us a couple of samples of what they're looking for, and one of those samples is an outline. Let's see, I think it's this one. An outline of the state, right? So it makes it really simple. You basically pick the color you don't want, which is white. Right? We've got a nice black outline going around it. And now we can do either it's an outline or a solid. We're going to make this a solid. Right? Really simple to do here on this one. And just click next. Right? Not a whole lot to it to get this in. I did have to decide which part of this to use, and actually what I found was this inside part, this one here, is the correct drawing. So I could have used bits and pieces here, but I got better resolution using this one. So just select and delete the other stuff, and there's our drawing. Now the downside here is, as you can see, it's pretty small. So what we do, let's press F7, we'll see the whole table, and now you can see that in the corner here we don't have a whole lot. Right? So I selected it, and I used the resize, or the scale tool, right? And I just picked 2 points, and I said, okay, let's make this thing bigger. I don't really care how big at this point. And we'll move it onto the table. And we're going to rotate this. I'm going to press the R key. R is for rotate. And I'm going to use this point as the rotation axis. And come around here. And I want to make this about, about level. Right? It's not going to be perfectly level, and that's okay. I'm just trying to get an idea of what I can fit in here. And I was given a spec that they wanted it to be about 48 inches wide, which is the exact size of the table. So what I did at this point is just get it over in a corner, close by. And now I did my final resize on this. So I chose, and I pressed the home key to give me snaps that are, to give me your orthogonal snaps. And so I just picked something right here, and I just made it bigger until the width came in to be about that 48 inches. Right? And then I pressed home to turn that off again. So there's our drawing. Shift N gives you the ability to do or to create a convert to cut path. Right? So I started my cut path here. It automatically does it. And just to give you an idea, about 139 inches, right, of linear cutting, and it takes about 33 seconds. Now I cut this at, let's take a look at the settings. Right. I cut this at 260 inches a minute. The book calls for 280, but I found that if I take about take about 20 off that, I get a little bit better cut quality. Pierce time 0.1. These are your offsets in here. In the height control, it was 14 gauge. I did have it raise and lower. You set your cut height. And then I had it automatically adjust at its first touch off, adjust the height, and so your Z shift and your arc voltage shift. When the system's on and initialized, you can select these and it'll automatically adjust everything for you. So that's one of the benefits of having dynamic height control. It keeps your optimal cutting height while you are cutting automatically. So if there's any, almost no sheet is perfectly flat, right? They all flex and bend a little bit. Or when I'm cutting diamond plate, right, it will go up and it just automatically adjusts based on whatever those variations are in the cutter. So that was it. I mean, basically from this point, I cut the part out, and I managed to not get much of the video. This cut so quickly, it was 33 seconds, that by the time I pressed the start button, watched it get started, walked over to the camera and pressed record, it was about here. It was almost done, right? So, frankly, I just wanted to show a little bit and give you a little more information. But Design Edge does such a nice job of being able to work with printed graphics. Sometimes when I get templates, what I do is I scan them in. If I get a physical, like a cardboard copy of something, I scan it in first and then just do an import, and it makes it really, really simple to do. So let's go. We'll take a look at the setup on the table. Like I said, it's only a few seconds of the actual cutting, more about me babbling on. And as you can see, we got everything set up and did a quick cut. In my infinite wisdom, as I was doing all this stuff, I completely forgot to press the record button. And at 260 inches a minute, it doesn't take long to cut. So anyways, definitely need to work on clearing out the smoke. Got to get the water table filled back up and things like that, but we are operational, so at least we got the plasma cutter working again. Thanks for watching.